on the new orders that have been announced with regards to enforcing the lockdown. Well, so let's talk about whether there can be penalties for those who violate the lockdown rules. Yes, there are penalties now announced. Punishment for those who violate government directives can be up to 1 year if you are found or if you are caught violating government order. They can be, let me bring in Apurva to give us more details on the level and extent of penalty that you could face and which are the points on which the government has now announced penalties. Apurva?
Absolutely, Afrida, and we are looking at a time where in the past we have seen a lot of misinformation that has been spread, which has led to a lot of panic and anxiety among the people. In order to curb that and in order to ensure that only credible, accurate news is being put out, it is important that there are some punitive action that the government has now suggested, which also includes for raising false alarm, there is imprisonment of up to 1 year. This is important because as we've been speaking for the past several weeks, we've seen the kind of misinformation, WhatsApp forwards that have been spread, which has eventually led to a lot of panic, a lot of anxiety as well among the people. Now, the next important aspect that the government has put out, especially when it comes to punitive punishment at this point, it is for making false claims to get relief. This is also something that we have seen in the past where people have been making false claims in order to get some kind of relief. If that happens, there is an imprisonment of up to 2 years. So these are some punitive action that the government has now put in place. Remember, we have been reiterating here at Mirror Now as well how important the 21-day lockdown period is for us and how every single individual has to abide by it in order to curb the spread of coronavirus. It is only now that we can do it because as Prime Minister yesterday said that if we are able to do this, if we are not able to do this right now, if we are not able to abide by this 21-day lockdown, our country will take a setback of 21 years and we really cannot afford that. For this, we have been looking at several punitive action that has been put in place, Afrida.
Yes. Yes, so those, again, we are sticking to this policy of putting out information which is of immediate importance to all our viewers. And these 2 points that Apurva just made must be noted for the strict compliance of the lockdown orders. Let's also now talk about the impact that the lockdown can have in our lives. What changes from how we were operating earlier? That's again an important area. Apurva, I believe you can give us a detailed understanding on this point as to how we have to now reorient ourselves, make certain adjustments to only go for those services which are necessary for our daily functioning and refrain from going out or trying to even think of accessing any other service which is non-essential or simply of commercial nature. Over to you.
Absolutely, and Afrida, there has been a lot of confusion as to what services will be open, what services are going to be shut, the essential supplies which are going to be open, and there's been a lot of confusion doing the rounds. People are, of course, anxious to know, and they have to understand that there is no need right now for panic buying because essential services are going to remain open. The emergency services are going to remain open. So I'm just going to quickly take you through the big highlights of what remains open and what remains shut. This is for the viewers' understanding so that they do not indulge in panic buying, and we have been reiterating it again and again to not indulge in panic buying and step out of the house unless and until it is absolutely necessary. So the first point there, can only step out when it is emergency. Unless and until there is an emergency, please do not step out of the house. We have to stay indoors because that's the only way we can curb the spread of coronavirus. Secondly, you can step out for buying all the essential commodities. Remember, the essential commodities will remain open, which includes medical, which includes pharmaceutical chemist shops which are going to be open, the groceries, milk booth, meat and fish booths, all of them will remain open. Petrol pumps will remain open. So there is absolutely no need for any kind of panic at the moment. There is no need to be anxious because all these essential services will remain open. The center and the state are working towards ensuring that the supplies do not go out of stock. There is a concerted effort right now being taken up by both the center and the state government to ensure that the essential supplies are intact and they do not go out of stock. So there is absolutely no reason why someone has to indulge in panic buying. Now, I'm going to list out few things which are going to be shut at the moment. This is something that the viewers need to understand. If you're talking about the restaurants and the pubs, they will remain closed. They have been closed for almost 2 weeks now. They will continue to remain closed in the further 21-day lockdown period as well. Now, apart from that, all the non-essential offices will remain shut. Again, an extension of what we've been looking at in the previous 1 week as well. All the non-essential offices will remain shut. Only essential offices will remain open. The banks and ATMs will remain open. Now, apart from that, only emergency and essential services will remain open, as we have been reiterating that people can go out to buy essential supplies and emergency services, avail emergency services as well. Apart from that, the educational institutions, malls and cinemas have been closed. Now, this was one of the decisions that was taken at the very beginning in order to first prevent the spread of coronavirus. This clampdown will continue. So all the education institutions, the malls and the cinema theaters will remain shut. So this is a larger understanding of what are the facilities that are going to remain open, what is it that's going to be shut, and why one must not really indulge in panic buying at the moment, Afrida.
Right, and all this is being done to break the chain of transmission, which is why people have to stay home, stay indoors. Apurva and me are working from home. We are broadcasting live from our respective